Hi everyone, it's Catherine here from Chaos Creates. Thanks for joining me on my channel today. I'm going to be sharing with you a layout for Confessions of a Paper Addict, and it is the 8th of May. So it is Mother's Day here in Australia, as well as being International Scrapbooking Day. So don't forget there's 40% off for this weekend only. So go and check out the Etsy store. I am using this fabulous flower bouquet. Now, I am scrapbooking this photo of myself and my son Sebastian on my first Mother's Day. In the background there is a photo of my mum and her holding me as a baby. So that was a very sort of bittersweet moment, my first Mother's Day, knowing that I had this beautiful baby, but also that my mum was no longer around to share that with me. So I took this, or I had Ray take this photo of us. So I have done a little bit of pre-work. So as you can see, I have gone ahead and backed the cut file. I've cut it in some white cardstock and then backed it with papers, mainly from the Daydream collection by Cocoa Vanilla Studio, but I did add a little bit in from the These Days collections, just a few pops of colors that I wanted from there. Now I'm going ahead and doing a little bit of mixed media in the background here. I have just smushed some speckled egg Distress Oxide. I use the spray to do that, and I've just smushed that onto the background there. I've got some white cardstock that I've also mounted that on to some wood grain paper, and now I'm going to go ahead and use this stencil. Now I'm using the Distress Oxide inks in the same color, so in that speckled egg, and I have sort of created three different sections. Now I sort of had some sense of where I was going to put the cut file and how the photo was going to sit, but I hadn't really thought about where I was going to embellish. But it works out pretty well. So I'm just doing some of this stenciling in the background. This has been a bit of my go-to lately. So thank you to Sue Plum. I think I've sort of picked up on the techniques that she's been showing in her videos, and that is inspiring me to create these backgrounds lately. So I'm just going to go ahead and do a few drops and just sort of yeah, scatter that around the page as well, just with that same speckled egg. And then I'm going to go in with some gold from Jen Hatfield, and yes, just sprinkle that around. So I will have sort of already done some of that mixed media, and so I won't do any at the end, which I usually do, but yeah, I've already created those sort of gold splatters around the page as well. I do go ahead and leave that overnight. In the meantime, I'm just matting my photo, and I love the wood grains in Cocoa Vanilla Studio, so I really wanted to sort of pick up on that as well and matte my photo with the wood grain. So I'm just going to go ahead and use a piece here, and it was nearly perfectly cut, so I just have to cut off that bottom section to matte the photo there, and then I will go ahead and distress the edges. I did distress the edge of the white cardstock as well that's mounted on that wood grain, and I really love that. Yeah, it's it's one of my go-to kind of ways of scrapbooking. I love mounting that white cardstock, and I've been doing some mixed media lately, which is exciting for me because I am a little bit scared of it still. Now, as you can see, I've gone ahead and pulled out all the ephemera pieces that I have, and I'm just going to go through and see how I can embellish this page. I really love this cut file, and I wanted it to be the main feature, so I did get a little bit stuck with how to sort of keep embellishing, but there's these beautiful titles in this pack, and so I've pulled out Beautiful Life because I really, that photo was black and white. I didn't take a color picture, it was actually a black and white photo. So yeah, I wanted to pull in that with that title, which I love. So I'm just going ahead and seeing what embellishments I can make work. I've got this tab that says So Lovely, and I kind of wanted to cover up that corner of the photo. It was just sort of taken in, like, it was a mirror. There was sort of a lot of empty space. I was trying to cover that up, but you'll see how this comes together. I pulled out all these sort of fussy cut florals, and I'm trying to make them work. You'll see me sort of fuss with them and try and tuck them behind that bouquet. But yeah, in the end, or you'll see what happens. I pull out this circular element and I tuck that in behind the photo, and I really like that. As you can see, I'm just ciphering through, see what I can find to make work. But while I'm doing that, I will let you know I've left links below to this cut file. So the flower bouquet cut file in the Etsy store for Confessions of a Paper Addict. So that will be linked below, as well as the Facebook group. Now, make sure to check out the Facebook group today because I know a lot of the DT are going live today for International Scrapbook Day. Like I said, this is on the 8th of May. 2022. So if you're watching this video, go ahead and check out the Facebook group and see who's going live and see if you want to catch some of the fun for International Scrapbooking Day. So I have pulled out some of these floral pieces. As you can see, I've got some tiny die cut pieces that I've sort of sprinkled around the bouquet. Now I'm just tucking a few floral pieces into that top left hand corner of the photo behind with that sort of floral circular element behind it as, you know, sort of a base for my cluster there. And now I've pulled out these puffy sort of mini alpha thickers from the These Days collection, but the colors do coordinate really nicely. And so I'm going to go ahead and spell out first Mother's Day, and I've just used a 1 and an ST instead of spelling out the whole word. So I think I do make you watch all of this. Sorry, I don't think I cut it out, so it's a little slow here, but I do pull out first mother, and I forgot to add the S, but I do come in and correct that later. So how are you celebrating Mother's Day? I hope all the mothers out there that are watching this are having a lovely day, as well as people that have a fabulous mother. You know, I hope you're celebrating with them. You know, I still miss every Mother's Day with my beautiful mum, but being a mum myself, it is such a wonderful thing. Seb's already given me multiple gifts and multiple cards that he's made at school. Um, and yeah, he just couldn't wait. He brought them home from school and couldn't wait to give them to me. So as I'm recording this video, it'll be interesting to see what I get tomorrow. So I do add that S and I do move everything down. I don't make you watch all that, and I move it to the bottom. So it's the title essentially becomes Beautiful Life, First Mother's Day as the subtitle. So as you can see, I've put a few of those floral elements around the bouquet, sort of, you know, I guess floating off out of the bouquet. And so I'm going to continue to do that because I really didn't want to take away from this cut file. And so I just felt like these little floral elements would really help. So I'm just going ahead and working my way around, just picking out a few of the different colors. Obviously in the smaller, those tiny little florals, there's not as many colors. So I'm really just focusing on some of the blues and the pinks there. And I really love how that's looking. So yes, like I said, I hope you're enjoying Mother's Day and I hope you're enjoying International Scrapbooking Day. I'm going to be going live today at 11 o'clock Australian time. So it is the 8th of May here. I know in the US it's still just the 7th. But yes, yeah, it's been a great lead up to this Mother's Day. So I'm really, like I said, Seb's been spoiling me already. I'm just checking in on the sticker sheets and seeing what I can make work, but I don't pull anything in from there. And then I decide to use a lot of these hearts, and I really love how this looks. Like I said, I really was feeling like there was too much empty space in that corner of the photo. So I've gone ahead and put those two hearts, and I'm going to sprinkle a few around the page. So one near the sort of title, underneath the title there, one in the top right-hand corner of well, in the center, and then one on this left hand side. So I'm just sprinkling those around. I do remove a couple of those florals, but I love how this is looking. I mean, this collection, the Daydream collection, and These Days, like I said, they coordinate really well, but they're so lovely. Yeah, they're just beautiful. So now I'm going to go ahead and with my wet adhesive stick all of this down. So I don't make you watch all of this, but I carefully pick everything up and sort of place it down where it was. And I have bumped up that Beautiful Life with some foam squares, so that sits off the page a little bit and gives a bit more dimension. I have put glue behind that first Mother's Day as well. And that's it for my layout. I'll leave you with some close-ups. Thank you very much for joining me. Have a wonderful day. Bye, everyone.